Hello there. I'm Andy Mercado with BloodyElbow.com, and I'm about to speak with the 9-1 light heavyweight Jared Cannonier as he is headed to UFC 208 on February 11th in Brooklyn, New York, to take on the number 3 UFC ranked Glover Teixeira. So let's give Jared a call and find out what he's been up to since his last fight, find out how his move down from heavyweight has felt, and maybe if he plans to stick around the light heavyweight division, and find out what he has in store for Brooklyn, New York.
I'm doing good, man. How's it going?
It's going well. Thank you so much for taking out the time. I know you're very busy. Huge fight coming up. You're headed to Brooklyn, New York, UFC 208, taking on Glover Teixeira. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. Except for I got this lady over here digging her elbow into my leg.
Uh-oh.
And that kind of hurts, but it's going to make me better come fight night.
You're getting,
so I'll be moving around nice and easy.
You're getting a massage right now?
Yeah, some trigger point therapy.
What is trigger point therapy exactly?
It's basically, well, you know, through working out, muscles get tense, tightened, and that could lead to torn muscles or sprains and other type of injuries like that, you know. So keep the muscles loose, and they're able to fire more effectively. Also, it increases blood flow and a bunch of other benefits. But it's good stuff.
All right. Now, you're 2-1 in the UFC, 9-1 overall, and from what I've read, you're an air traffic controller. Is that true?
Not a controller. I maintain air traffic control equipment.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And do you still do that full time while you fight?
Yeah, that's why I woke up late, because I had to work last night.
Oh, wow.
I'll do it again tonight and then tomorrow night until I get up and leave for Brooklyn.
Wow. What is it like juggling a full-time job and a fight career?
You know, somebody's got to do it, right? You know, I got a family, so I got to take care of them. And, you know, UFC hasn't been paying the bills up until recently. So, you know, I've been blessed to have a really nice job to be able to take care of my family, and work has to be done, you know, and somebody's got to do it.
Fair enough. Now, your UFC debut was at heavyweight. You took on Sean Jordan. You got caught. It happens. What was the big takeaway? What was the big lesson that you learned from that fight?
Don't walk to the octagon smiling and taking in the sights and having a good old time. It's a fight, you know. Be in the mindset of a fight. And, again, you know, the fight, you know, it happens. Sean Jordan's a big, powerful dude, and he caught me with a shot that, if you listen to the commentary, you know, the commentators didn't know what I got hit with until they saw the replay. So, you know, a big hats off to Sean Jordan for making that happen. And you know, we all lose. We win some, you lose some. You can't win them all. But the main thing I took away from that is just, you know, going to a fight with the mindset to fight. Okay.
Now, your second fight was also at heavyweight, Cyril Asker, and you basically stormed his castle. You got him out of there just under 3 minutes. You hit him with a real interesting, it was like you threw a cross, and then you did this like switch stance, leap in, left hook kind of thing, and it dropped him. And then you finished him off with some intense elbows. Now, is switching stances something you practice regularly?
Yes, sir. I certainly do. You know, I don't want to put myself in a box and fight one way. You know, I take cues from different martial arts, and I switch stances, so that doubles the number of attacks that I have. And the more weapons in my arsenal, the more likely I am to be able to adapt to more situations. And also, you know, why not, right?
Hey, I dig it. Are you predominantly left-handed, or you just?
No, I'm orthodox.
Okay, but you just can do either or. Did you learn one way and then switch to the other, or did you learn both ways at the same time?
Well, I had to get good at orthodox before I even decided to do southpaw. But my coach says, you know, we're gonna do both. He switched the stance, so I'm gonna switch stance. So
okay.
And plus, it's been working out for me so far, so I'm gonna keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough to deal with. Now, your third UFC fight, you dropped down to light heavyweight. You entered the 205-pound division. You took on Ion Cutelaba, if I said that right. Entertaining fight. Crazy antics with Cutelaba. He painted himself green at the weigh-ins. He kind of got in your face as Bruce Buffer was doing his announcement. What did you think of his antics leading up to the fight?
Well, the whole painting yourself green, again, going to a fight, ready to fight. Now, if he's busy doing his makeup, it's going to be a distraction. On top of the paint, he also had a dummy. He was carrying around a mannequin decked out in UFC gear with a picture of my face painted on him. And after the weigh-ins, he proceeded to smash it like only the Hulk can. And it is what it is. If he wants to do all that stuff, that's his deal. I came in there, I have my ritual too. I say my prayers and I get in the mindset to get ready to fight. So him getting in my face, he does that in all of his fights, so I was expecting it. So, I'm not going to sit there and, so I just took a little step forward just to, kind of get in his face as he was getting in mine and let him know, I'm here. We're here. We're going to fight. So you can do all this, slashing your throat and paint yourself green all you want, but when it comes time to throw these fists, we'll see what happens then.
Yeah, absolutely. And what are your thoughts on your performance? You got out of there, unanimous decision, victory. You made a statement there at the end. What are your thoughts at your first 205 fight in the UFC?
Well, I would like all my fights to end in the first round, be an outstanding KO without taking any shots whatsoever. But, it was still a good fight. I had a good time the entire time. It was a fun fight for me. And, I was put in situations that, I hadn't been put in as far as being in the octagon go. Or hell, even in my career, I think that was the first time I had been taken down in a fight. So, we train our wrestling here. It's not that I don't have wrestling or anything. It's just that we didn't prepare for a wrestler, even though he is a wrestler. But it is what it is. It happened, and I dealt with the situation. I deal with the situations as they come.
Okay. Now, like you said, he was able to get a couple takedowns, but you did a pretty outstanding job of remaining out of harm's way. You kind of you made it a point to control the distance, and you didn't really sustain too much damage while he did have you on the ground. Are you like a specific belt in jiu-jitsu, or where do you train at for your ground game?
Well, I train at Legacy Jiu-Jitsu here in Anchorage, Alaska.
Okay.
And during that fight, I was a purple belt, blue belt, I mean. But I had been a blue belt for a long time, and I hadn't been doing much gi work. So, I had been doing some gi work leading up to this fight. And I guess my coach had plans to give me my purple belt. But after the fight, he blessed me with a purple belt. So now I'm a purple belt.
Okay, awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I know it's not about belts, it's about the journey, but still,
Right.
the milestones are definitely worth noticing. Now,
yeah, absolutely.
Also in the fight, you showed off a lot of head work, a lot of head movement, footwork. Where are you boxing at? And how long have you been working on the sweet science?
Well, I hadn't been doing any specific. What's the word? I hadn't been doing boxing specifically. We do have a boxing gym in which I go to and I get some work in. But it all comes from here with my team here at Legacy. We've got good coaches who his primary thing is footwork, moving your feet. And with me not wanting to get hit, I naturally decided that I'm gonna work on my head movement. So I've been perfecting that and trying to make it more part of my game, and it's worked out so far. So I still got my brains are intact. That's the main thing. I want my brains to be intact so I can watch my kids grow up.
Okay, and at the end, like the last 45 seconds of that fight, you dropped your hands and you just started marching him down. What was that all about?
Well, he was at that point in the fight, he was backing up a lot, and the only time he came forward was to take a shot, and he would throw some shots and stuff, but those were easily evaded. But he was backing up a lot, and I wanted him to, I wanted to punch him. I wanted to finish him is what I wanted to do. So to try to goad him into attacking and moving forward, I put my hands down, and that was pretty much it. It wasn't planned or anything. It was just, hey, I want come on, try to get me. Come on, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? And so that was pretty much all that was.
Okay, and how did you feel at 205? How was the weight cut leading up to it?
The weight cut was easy. It was real easy, easier than I thought. Besides being uncomfortable in a hot bath and in the burrito, but it was easy. The weight came off super easy, and I attribute that to my wife, who she cooked it, and I ate it. And when I first got the call, I was like 246 pounds when I first got the call about the fight.
Oh wow!
And so we had some work to do too. We had some weight to lose to get ready for this fight. So give her the credit for helping me get there. And this weight cut is going to be even easier because we don't have to do all that weight, losing all the weight. So, and I'm already on weight right now. So all we have to do is go there, cut weight, and fight.
Okay, now after the Cutelaba fight, you kind of said that you think you can make 185. Is that something you're still considering, or you think you'll hang out at 205 for a bit?
I'm going to hang out for a bit, see what happens here. 205 is definitely in my future. It will happen, whether it be as a super fight, two-time champ, another two-time dual champ. I think it'll be more realistic for me because I'll be able to defend both belts easier, more, easier, if that's the right word. Unlike Conor McGregor, who has to cut a lot of weight to get to 145. I mean, he's done it, successfully each and every time. So, I'm taking cues from everybody who I see fighting, who I see, going through the same journey as me, and try to do it better. That's all I can do.
Do you think 185 might be a little too much of a cut for you?
No, because at 205, I still have a fairly decent amount of body fat on me. So we can cut that body fat, and the weight cut will still be easy. I sweat real easy. I sweat very easily. I mean, everybody here will attest to that. And I think I'm one of the sweatiest guys in the gym. So I don't think it'll be an issue to make 185. Okay.
Now, on your plate right now, you're about to face the number 3 UFC ranked light heavyweight Glover Teixeira. How did this fight come to be?
Well, after the Cutelaba fight, I got the call and they gave me the offer, along with the new contract. So, they gave me the name first, and I was really excited about the name. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, how much are they going to be paying me, as a matter of fact? And because I'm not going to fight, number 3 ranked light heavyweight on that, for what the contract would stipulate. So they offered me a new contract, a very nice contract, might I add. And it's a very good, good challenge for me. So I'm gonna take it.
Okay, how many fights are on that contract?
This is a 6-fight contract.
Oh wow, awesome. Okay, so we can expect to see Cannonier around the UFC for a while.
As long as I'm successful.
Awesome. Now, Glover, he had 3 straight finishes and then ran into Anthony Rumble Johnson. Got taken out, I think it was like 16 seconds or something. What do you think about the stylistic matchup here, and where do you see your opening?
Well, I see my advantages lies in the striking department. Not to say that, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Me being a purple belt, that pretty much speaks for itself. Not to say that if it goes to the ground, that I'm just going to be a babe in the woods. But, I think I hold the advantage of striking. I believe I'm faster. I have better footwork. And as far as I'm concerned, my mental, my mind, I think is one of the biggest weapons I have. I don't let things get to me. I don't. If I'm in a bad situation, I know how to stay calm and how to work my way out of bad situations. On top of that, I have good cardio, and I'm a fairly decent athlete as well. Not to take any of that away from Glover. Again, he's number 3. He's ranked number 3 in the world for a reason. So, it's just a fight. I get hit in the nose by my 4-year-old daughter, and it hurts. So imagine what a 205-pound or 220-pound man will do.
It is true.
So a fight's a fight, and we're going to fight. So.
Okay. Now, how's your training camp going for this fight?
Well, training camp consists of, the gym, work, and home. So it's pretty much the same as always. We've got a good team here, and we've been getting some good work in. I brought in some wrestlers to, get my mind back onto wrestling, so I can be ready for that aspect of the fight, and just close up the holes that were exposed from the last fight. It's not we don't have a lot of time to get those holes closed, but people think that I don't have wrestling, and they'll be saying that until they see me shit on somebody, which could happen in this next fight. I've been working on mixing things up in the cage, throwing more kicks, and eventually using takedowns and stuff, because I have takedowns. People don't know that, but I do have takedowns. I didn't wrestle as a kid or anything like that, but I learned fast. So, and we have a really good team up here who are helping me get to where I need to be.
Okay. Now, do you have a prediction for this fight? How is it going to play out?
I don't like making predictions. Only thing I like to predict is that I'm going to do whatever I can do to get that win. It's a fight. A fight is a lot like life. You don't really know what to expect. All you can do is prepare yourself for the worst situations and the best situations. So, again, I put my faith in the Lord, and if it's His will for me to get the win, whether it be by a slugfest or a quick knockout, I'll be happy I'll just be happy to get the W.
Okay, now, regardless of the outcome, where do you think this fight will place you in terms of the UFC rankings?
Maybe I would say top 15 at the very least. But, rankings really don't matter to me. I don't think rankings matter to anybody unless it's in the top 10. So, wherever they decide to put me, it's and it's also determined on how the fight goes. If I go out there and look completely untouchable and amazing and, show off all my skills, hell, they may shoot me into the top 10 or top 5. Probably not top 5. That's a bit of a stretch, but they may shoot me into the top 10. And, who knows where things will go from there. But, again, I don't really think about the rankings. I just think about the man, in front of me and the people around me. Okay.
Now, are you looking for only top 10 opponents? Do you not care who your next opponent would be? What's your stance on that?
I don't care who my opponent is. After my last fight, I asked for a potato, an easy fight. Yeah. And you see what that got me. So I'm not going to ask for anything. The matchmakers know exactly what they're doing. So, especially Mick. I really like Mick, and I really like his matchmaking. He knows how to put together exciting fights. So, for now, I'm just going to let him do what he does. Let Sean Shelby and the rest of those guys, do their thing. And, they're going to have, after each fight, it's going to spark new ideas for those guys. So who knows what they'll do.
Do you have any sponsors or people you'd like to give a shout out to?
I certainly would. Legacy Jiu-Jitsu definitely is a big sponsor of mine. Gage Industries, Tees and Chiropractic, Stephanie Clay, who's the one doing the work on my leg. I want to give her a shout out to. ABA, Alaska Boxing Academy. That's where I go to, get my hands right. FLS Photography. They like to take the pictures and stuff and, do the social media thing. And he does, I think, Frankie, he does he actually does something similar to what I do for a living. So we also have that in common. Okay. And who else? My wife, especially her. She doesn't really sponsor me because, all the money I make is her money. So, so she gets lucrative pay for what we do here. But, again, she made that weight cut possible. She's making this one possible. And, she's a mother of my children. She, makes this You know the saying, how she makes this house a home and all that good stuff.
Absolutely.
So, you know, she makes it to where all I have to do is go to work, go to the gym, and come home. That's all I do. Those are the only two things I do.
You have to shout out the wife. You have to.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Again, and also all the fans. You know, everybody. There's a lot of people who support me. Stephanie Thibault, you know, hooked me up with fish. My teammates here have hooked me up with fish so I can eat clean. There's just so many people to thank. You know, everybody from the start of my career to this point. You know, whether we've had a falling out or, you know, whether we don't talk no more. Everybody, you know, the guys at Gracie Baja, Alaska is where we started. You know, the guys at ABJJ. You know, and the whole state of Alaska, you know, that's what I'm representing right now, you know, because I'm the only active UFC fighter up here for now. But, you know, just give a shout out to the entire state and everybody here who has supported me and helped me get to where I am now. I want to say thank you guys. And on the 11th, I'm going to go over there and put all that stuff into, put in work.
Okay. Now, how can people follow you on your journey? What are your social media outlets?
Well, The Killer Gorilla on Facebook. I've been told that I have a really hard Instagram and Twitter handle, but I think my Twitter is TKG_AK_MMA, and something similar on my Instagram. I can't remember. I'm going to have to change it and make it something really similar. Simple, but if you just Google TKG or The Killer Gorilla, it shouldn't be hard to find any of that stuff.
Awesome. Well, Jared Cannonier, thank you so much for taking out the time. Huge fight in your hands. Glover Teixeira, UFC 208 in Brooklyn on February 11th. Best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you. And also, I wanted to give a shout out to my Lord, Yahovah, who has blessed me and has given me, you know, who has pretty much made this possible. He's brought me to Alaska, you know, through, you know, whatever situation we were in, and made all this happen. So definitely want to give him the glory and you know, having my back.
Awesome. I dig it, man. Well, Cannonier, thank you so much, sir. So there you have it. The 9-1 Jared Cannonier headed to UFC 208, taking on the number 3 ranked Glover Teixeira. Go check it out, February 11th. In the meantime, you can read me over at bloodyelbow.com. You can follow me on Twitter at @Mercado. If you like this interview, you can subscribe to my channel right here and click here for Bloody Elbow's YouTube channel. Check out this interview. Check out this interview. Now go be a good person.